My name is Demetrius Kempnick, and the presentation I'll be going over today is conservation versus conventional agriculture. A little bit about me is I'm a senior majoring in crop and soil science, environmental science, and minoring in global food security and health and plant health sciences. I would like to ask, are any of you concerned about the way we grow our food, the effects, the cost of inputs? These are important questions that need to be addressed. And the first topic that I would like to discuss is soil health, because it is the main basis of why we should convert our current systems of agriculture to conservation agriculture. So, what is no-till farming? No-till farming is the act of growing crops continuously throughout the year through the use of cover crops, um, through intercropping, or alternating between cover crops and crops grown for food consumption. And these crops are planted without the use of breaking up the soil initially. In turn, by doing this, this makes the soil aggregates or the soil structure completely stronger and reduces soil erosion by 80%. The act of no-till farming focuses on building the soil structure. And while building the soil structure, it increases the organic matter, meaning it makes the soil more fertile. So that means that less fertilizers should be applied to the soil the next growing season. And more organic matter means that more organic carbon is being sequestered into the soil, which is a very good thing. We want the carbon from the atmosphere to be sequestered into the soil so that we can mitigate the effects of climate change. And this graph is detailed, is depicting so long-term no-till, short-term no-till, and chisel discs or moldboard plowed plots. And so what is at 3 different sampling depths. And so what it's describing is the aggregate strength of the soil at these different depths for these different planting methods. And so essentially the result of this data is saying that no-till will result in significantly stronger aggregate strength, which and the significance of this is that it will protect your soil will be much more durable and tolerable of wind and surface erosion, and yeah. The next topic I'd like to go over is lower input costs. So continuous conventional till uses about 6 gallons of diesel fuel per acre per year, while continuous conservation farming uses less than 2 gallons of per acre per year. So the significance of this is that less money is being spent on fuel and fertilizer to plant these seeds, and less fuel is burnt as fossil fuels to contribute to global warming. So this is showing to be a better system to use long term when less inputs are required to get more outputs. This is something that we should all want. Put less in to get more out. And so this map is a distribution of how each region has reduced their fuel usage. And I would also like to point out that each region has their own problems and struggles with agriculture. For instance, the Pacific Northwest is a heavy wheat production area, and their main problem, or one of their main problems, is wind erosion. And so a solution to that would be to grow barley or oat as a cover crop in between wheat production season, and that will increase the soil structure, keeping it from being able to blow the topsoil away, things like that. But in the southern U.S., you will get more annual precipitation. So when you're implementing a no-till system, it's likely that you may still have to remove some of the crop residues from the harvest, because whenever there's too much moisture, it's likely that there's a chance that a soil-borne pathogen or fungal pathogen could infect the residue, and that could later infect the plants that are growing later in the season. So those are things to think about as well. So the last topic I'd like to go over is higher economic returns. So implementing a no-till farming system will overall save you time. It will decrease labor costs, the requirement for labor, how much labor you need, lower machine operating costs and maintenance. And so spending less money into the system and getting a higher return means that a farmer could be able to reinvest that money back into his farm, or reinvest the money back into its community for the better. And that's something that you can only applaud someone for doing. So in conclusion, I would hope that you all understand that implementing a no-tillage farming system will show to be more productive and sustainable long term. During this presentation, I went over soil health, lower input costs, and higher economic gains. If all the farms in the world implemented a no-tillage system, it could substantially reverse the effects of global warming through mass carbon sequestration over time. I hope that this presentation was a learning experience for you, something that helped create inspiration, something that helped you think a little bit deeper into the future of what we have to fix. And thank you.